All right, so this is part one in installing Torqhead in my 95 Camaro. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm removing the battery. And the reason I'm removing the battery, instead of just disconnecting the cable, for one, I just want more room. And two, there's a sensor that's known for going in all these. That should be right there. So that'll cause a low coolant light to come on almost all the time. So I'm thinking I should just clean that up and, you know, probably just plug it back in. It should be fine. But all right, now let's look at step two. All right, so the next step is to drain coolant. Now my car is a bit low. It's got the strain on springs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jack it up and just to get a little bit of clearance so I can reach the drain plug. All right, so the next step is to remove the air ducts, and as well as disconnect the Iat sensor as well as the MAF sensor. There's also an IAC sensor, but up until I started recording and reading the instructions, I had no idea what that is. So I assume there's going to be a super obvious sensor I need to disconnect after I get this all out. So we'll see. All right, so that is the IAC, which I believe stands for idle air control. You know, I think I'm going to head to Canadian Tire later, and I'm going to click up something to clean that MAF screen, and as well as clean these air filters, because I believe they're actually supposed to be blue from SLP. They're kind of blue now, but I should definitely get someone to wash these. Okay, so there's going to be two hoses you can disconnect. Let's see, you got the right side upper radiator hose, which goes to the water pump. And you also have, let's see here. Shit, what side did I just take them on? Oh, right there. I accidentally disconnected the one that goes to the overflow tank, but I mean, I guess you don't really need to. There's a little connection there underneath, and that one goes right to right there. I think that's actually part of the throttle body bypass, or throttle body coolant bypass mod if you want to do it now, but I'm undecided, so we'll see. All right, so I got one more hose to disconnect. Yeah, this has been quite the bugger. These connections are just seized right on there, but oh well. Oh, and to make things easier, because I know I'm gonna have to remove that water pump, I think I'm gonna drop the fans just to give myself some more wiggle room. So I'm gonna do that now, and I think it's just probably two 10mm bolts. Whatever. All right, I got the fans out. There's two connectors on it. There's also these weird little loom holder things that you press on a little thing and the connectors drop right out, and those are the connectors right here. They go to the fans, and I disconnected everything that goes to the water pump, I think, right? I got a sensor there, I guess I should maybe do something about. What is that? Sort of like a temperature sensor of some type. All right, cool. I am going to move on to the next step. All right, I just loosened the serpentine belt, and it's you just put it on that little doohickey right there, and grab it at the top from the alternator, and just peel the thing off. Okay, so I just did something really silly. I found a way to get the breaker or the harmonic balancer bolts off. I had to use this, and I also had to take a ratchet, which is, all right, found it. So what I ended up doing was I got a ratchet with just the 16mm socket on it, and I got my breaker bar with a 16mm socket on it, and this is gonna look very non-elegant, but hey, it worked for me. Ooh. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want me working on your car. So, put it here on this. I'm going to spin the crank so that this turns around. Turn the crank. take this bad boy, jam it in there, get enough space so that I take my foot, put it on the ratchet, and push the engine down. Oh, Jesus. Who fucking put these things on here? Alright, so the next step, 6 bolts total on the water pump. And that should be it. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be cleaning that with some a wire brush or something, because that is filthy looking. There's also a step in there for removing the lower radiator hose, which I've already done. So should be good to go. So at this point I got, what is that? How many do I see over there? 4 water pump bolts out, and my God, this one is the worst one yet. The other ones were not too bad, but need a very specific, it's the smallest, whatever the fucking thing is for ratchet sizes. Smallest one, small extension, barely makes it in there with the smallest socket. The next size up, it'll just bang, and you just can't get enough grip on it. And I muscled my way through it, but I broke that one loose. So cheers. All right, so I skipped a few steps, but at the end of the day, by 3 steps, I only really skipped one, which was the Opti spark removal. Now, I used a Allen key, and it was the weirdest looking thing. I only just picked it up today, so there it is. Oh, and when I took the water pump out, I accidentally nicked my old Opti, which sucks because the this one actually works fine, so I'm gonna have to sell it with a shitty cap on it. But there's the Allen key I use. What does it say on it? Shut up, dog. CRV 3/16. Yeah, so I used that and took all 3 of the Opti bolts out, and that's all there was to it. Alright, so current status, I have the harmonic balancer off, I have the water pump off, I have the Opti off. So I need a couple of bolts, and I'm going to drop by the Fastenal tomorrow. They're not open today because it's Sunday. And I need to get, there's 4 different bolts, and I have a puller that I got off Jags there a while ago, but it doesn't seem to be quite perfect. I'm sure I could but put something together with like a 1/4-inch extension, but I don't feel like doing that. So I'll get the recommended bolt sizes, and then I'll be back to work. Okay, so I obviously didn't want to pay for the Kent Moore tool to properly extract the hub. So what I did was I got a parts store puller. This is a Lyle parts store puller, just your standard type of puller. None of the included bits will fit. So what I had to do is, because normally what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to thread the included bolts in through here, and we can't do that because, well, you just can't, because none of the ones included work. So what you do is you get these other bolts, which I'll put the specs in the description. It's actually included in the Torqhead documentation too. And then you have it threaded, or you push it through, and it threads into this nut in a washer. Then you also have another bolt here as a standoff to push against the block. That way, because if you pull it in as is, it'll just try to compress on itself. I know this because I did this, and I actually broke 2 pullers. And then from there, you just pull, and you pull, and you pull, and you pull, and it comes out. This is my first time ever pulling a crank hub, so I had no idea what I was doing, but it's out, and yeah. Okay, so I think I said in the last step that I was going to focus on the other items until I can get the stuff I need to pull the hub. In the meantime, I decided to swap the PCM, as well as I'm going to be mounting the coil brackets, as well as the ignition coils. And I'll be doing this and this, and yeah. Okay, here we are again. I just took the little crankshaft key that comes in the kit, and I gently as I could, tapped it into the crank, and I noticed when I slid the crank hub, the new crank hub on, and it slid on there pretty easily. So the idea is, if it's not on there 100%, it should still slide on, like it should correct as I put it on there. But now, my biggest moment of truth, install the sensing unit. All right, here we are underneath the car. I'm putting the spacer on. You only need to do this if you have a 95 or older LT1, which I do. What I've been doing is I put it on like one side, give it a quick little tap just to make sure it aligns here, then go to the other side, tap. I'm just slowly going back and forth, making sure the spacer's nice and even. And the theory is that it should also straighten out this key here at the top. So we'll see. All right, so I got the hub situated on there. It's just held on with pressure. What I need to do now is I need to take the threaded rod that I picked up. I got them to cut a foot, but yeah, that's way too much rod because it's hitting the radiator. So got my trusty hacksaw. I'm gonna cut this up. I'm gonna put some tape on the end of this, and then I should be able to start threading in that hub. And this should be the last hard thing to do on this project. Here I am underneath the car again. I got my threaded rod. Got the washers on there, and they should keep it straight. I don't like how that's sitting, but as long as this last one's there, and it looks to me to be almost dead on. Like, I keep feeling like when I look at this, maybe it's the angle I'm looking at it, but I keep feeling like it's pointing down. Why does it feel that way? Oh, man. All right, I don't remember the last video I made, but basically I'm at the point now where I think I have the hub on all the way. So when my unit came fully assembled, like this part right here, it already had the crank sensor in it, and like this thing was already attached to it. So I'm thinking, I don't think it was supposed to be fully assembled for me. But anyway, so I had to take it all off because I need to make sure that it lines up with this crankshaft lining up tool, whatever the hell it's called. Anyway, so more reading to do on that. All right, I had to file down the crankshaft alignment tool. The reason why is the tolerances for this tool are really tight. So I heard back from Paul. He said that that's pretty normal, and to just basically scrape off the anodized finish on the black insides, and that should be enough for it to be snug. And there it is. It's on the crankshaft, and now I can tighten up these, and then the two Allen key bolts, and then that's it. All right, cool. I have two shims on it, and the feeler gauge is about, I don't know, like it passes through quite easily, which I'm a little suspicious of, but I think everything's good. I'm going to start connecting the Torqhead, other Torqhead stuff, and we'll give it a quick test fire. All right, so for installing the coil packs, what I did to get the valve cover bolts in is I took off the first and the last coil pack, and I tightened it in because, I mean, I tried using my ratcheting wrench. Is that what it's called? Anyways, I tried using that on the last one, and I just couldn't, it just wasn't going anywhere. So I'm going to take it off, and I already got it all tightened down. So now I'll put them back in, and I'll connect it to the C3 harness, and then it should be good.